going to crack on. Hopefully this is actually recording. Right. Apologies if you are commenting. I can't see it, but hopefully Facebook will catch up with me at some point. So here we go. Number 1 is scheduling. So it's December, and that doesn't necessarily mean that we need to drink every night and have all the takeaways. I usually tell clients to decide on an amount of days that they would be comfortable with letting their normal standards slip. So in a normal year, that would mean maybe Christmas party nights, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Day is pretty huge up here in Scotland. I would tell them to diarise those days, and otherwise don't change your mindset. Stick with the programme. You are doing it fine now. You were doing it fine last week. Just because it's December doesn't mean that everything needs to go to shit. So pick what you would be comfortable with, pick what you would be proud of, go to town those days, and the other days just stick with it. December does not mean everything goes to shit. And this year it should get a bit easier. I know it's really sad to say, but there's fewer parties and we can't really go anywhere, so it should be a wee bit easier to not be tempted to kind of go off plan. So number 2, calorie banking. We know this by this point. Well, everyone who's passed week 2 knows about calorie banking. So if we know that we are going to have extra calories, bank some from the days before. As always, I would always rather you do this before the event than after. You'll enjoy it more, and there's more chance of the deficit actually happening. So we've all been there where we've kind of went to town and we've thought, oh, I'll make up for it tomorrow. And then when it comes to it tomorrow, just hitting your calories seems like too much of an effort. Always do it in advance. You will enjoy it more and you will control yourself more. Tip number 3, aim to maintain. So when shit gets real and when the party's going down, I don't want you aiming for weight loss. I want you partying around the Christmas tree, celebrating, having a brilliant time. The fact is, every year up till this year, you have probably put on quite a bit of weight after Christmas. So we're just asking for a bit of control. We are not asking for you to be an angel. Just control yourself to the degree that we need to maintain. In my mind, if you can maintain, then that's a success. Now we have, I think, 6 or 7 ladies who are going to get to their 13th week, so they're 90 days, the week between Christmas and New Year. So to them, I would say Christmas week, you should be aiming to maintain. So think about whether you want to bring your 90-day goals forward a wee bit so that you achieve them before Christmas, or after a wee bit so that you can do them maybe a week after Christmas. Be realistic, but Christmas week, aim to maintain, not to lose. Are you with me so far? I still can't see any reactions or anythings. So I'm just really worried that I'm talking to myself here. Although I can see the wee eyeballs. Right, I'm going to crack on just in case you can see me. Number 4, this is quite a big one. Plan your environment. So if you know that you're going to so-and-so's house for cheese and wine, the chances are that you are going to eat cheese and wine when you're there. Cheese, as we know, is high in fat. Wine is high in carbs. So if this is a day you want to maintain your calories and your macros, I would recommend making sure that before you go to so-and-so's house, you are under on fats and carbs from breakfast and lunch, in the hope that what you do in the evening, munching on the delicious cheese, sipping on the delicious wine, brings you to where you need to be. Good ways to do this are using things that are really protein dense and low in carbs and fats. Excellent ones like that are protein shakes, egg whites, lean meats. Wouldn't recommend this every day by any means because it's miserable, but it's a good way of maintaining your calories and macros when you know that you're going to be having a bit of a carry on at night. If you're going to a buffet at Auntie Ina's house, can you take some leaner protein rich foods with you? Enough to share would be a good idea. You want to be included and you want to feel included in the fun, not to be stuck in the corner with a glass of sparkling water and a carrot stick. When you're in your own house, if folk keep dropping off big tins of Quality Street, put them out of sight. Seeing them 10 times a day is not going to help you. Similarly, make sure you've always got plenty of the stuff you like in that's good for you, and it might be worth going back to, remember week 1 we had you doing your kitchen makeover? So it might be worth doing a wee kind of festive version of that for the run up to Christmas. Right, number 5, I know is a big one for me, and it's a big one for some of my girls as well. Number 5 is bevy, bevy, bevy. Christmas, for some of us, means Bucks Fizz in the morning, cocktails before dinner, Advocaat whenever, drink, glorious drink. There are smarter ways to use your calories than wine and beer. And I know it's what most of us prefer, unless you are Cat Chalmers and you drink that gross milk-based White Russian. But here we go. Here is my top tips. Pimp out your spirits. If I'm having a night in, I'll have a beer at the start of the night, because this is habitual for me. My evening always starts with a beer if I'm having a drink. And at that point, I move on to spirits. And I make sure that I'm prepared and I have some nice kind of stuff that I can get excited about drinking. So I pimp my spirits. This is how I do it. I buy a lovely premium quality vodka or gin, and I keep it in the fridge. So if I am having a vodka at night, it's usually going to be a Grey Goose or a really, really nice one. I know that Grey Goose is really quite expensive, but I love it. And also, it's significantly cheaper than a night out, which I think I've had 2 of them this year. So it's fine. I'll keep it in the fridge all day so it's freezing cold. I know this sounds crazy, but I have Saturday night glasses. I have a tall crystal glass, which is really heavy and it feels lovely in my hand. I have one of those giant gin goblets for the odd occasion that I'm having a gin. And my favourite is actually my copper cups. And these are amazing for fizzy drinks. So I like a lot of Moscow Mules. They are brilliant for keeping the drinks cold. They look really fun and they've got a handle so your hand doesn't actually warm them up. I have a favourite ice. So if I'm having drinks on a Saturday night, I buy the huge ice cubes from Tesco. Don't buy the standard ones that you get in the big bag. I think you get like half the amount for the same price. But yeah, to me, it just reminds me of being in lovely pubs or being on holiday with the big ice cubes. Second last, get excited about mixers and garnishes. If I'm drinking, it's always mini bottles or individual cans of mixer. And it's always my favourite mixer, not a crappy version. So I like Coke Zero with vodka, or at the moment I'm loving my Moscow Mules. So I make sure I've got cans of fiery, low sugar ginger beer. I also make sure I've got the citrus fruits out for vodka, or the berries or the apple juice out for gin. I know it's just sitting in the house, but it makes it feel a bit more special, and it means that I don't miss my beloved beer. Last thing is, basically, make spirits sexy. So that's us just done 5 items. We're 10 minutes into the call and I've still not had any interaction. Bear with me for a second just so that I can check on my phone and see what's going on. Okay, I can see, Joe, you've mentioned you can hear us on my phone, so that's great, perfect. I'm just going to crack on. Right, number 6. Decide now what realistic looks like. Decide now what you can be proud of and do that. Do not aim for perfection. It's Christmas time and you're going to have some indulgences, and I want you to do that. Decide now what success looks like and enjoy every mini cheddar. Please. I am your coach. Please do that, okay? Number 7 is about protein. So a lot of stuff that we love in a traditional Christmas dinner is very high in protein. Lean, lovely turkey, prawns, even the sausage meat is quite high in protein. So just enjoy it and get stuck in. Number 8, it can be easy to make good choices. So think of like a kind of traditional Christmas dinner. We've already touched on the protein, but the starters are traditionally or easily adapted to be really healthy as well. So for us, it was always either soup or a prawn cocktail. Soup tends to be really healthy, plenty of vegetables in there, sometimes there's protein in there. Prawn cocktail, you could make that healthy quite easily. The prawns are really proteiny, they're really lean. It's generally served with a lovely side salad. The only kind of damage in there is the sauce, and you could make your own sauce with a lighter mayonnaise, or you could not, you could just accept it and go on with it. But yeah, I guess what I'm saying is, don't always think about the damage you're doing and just think, oh, fuck it, I'm just going to have all the chipolatas. It's easy to also make some good choices as well. Okay, we're nearly there, ladies. Number 9, keep on moving. Decide how many workouts you can accommodate and make sure they get done. If you need to reduce them, then fine, but decide now, or certainly the week before Christmas, what is doable and stick to it. That way you can be proud of yourself. So even if you do less workouts than normal, if you've decided in advance that you are going to do less, but you still do what you said you will do, you can still be proud of yourself. Steps, you can rock around the Christmas tree, dancing, chasing the kids about, shopping. It is not hard to get steps in over Christmas. Most of us aren't working either, so get outdoors with your loved ones, get those steps in, please. Number 10, do not let setbacks set you back. This is why planning for it is so important. Accept that you probably won't lose weight, accept that you deserve an amazing time and make it happen. The next day, straight back to the steps, the water, the tracking. Even if you don't like what you see, action brings motivation. It is not the other way around. Are you with me? The action brings the motivation. You do not wait for the motivation for the action. Number 11, have a ball. Just have a great time. It's been quite a shit year all round. So this takes us to number 12, and I just added this in after talking to a few of you today. Christmas is a difficult time for a lot of people, and this year it'll probably be tougher than ever. Please, please, please protect your energy. Please don't strive for perfection. It doesn't exist. Do your best to enjoy your special time and don't pile on loads and loads of pressure on yourself. It's not good for anyone. So I know I said I was going to be quick. I didn't anticipate that I would be quite this quick. And yep, I'm afraid the commenting, I still can't see your comments here on the laptop. But what I'll do is I'll ask you now if you have any feedback or any comments or anything, and I think I should be able to see them on my phone. So, if you're still with us, hi Lisa, I just saw your message, thank you. So, I should be able to see the comments on my phone, so if anyone has anything to ask or anything to add, please do it now and share with the rest of the group. Okay, comments. Alright, I see you all. Hi Karen, hi Lisa, Susan, Laura, Alison, Andrea, Lisa, Danielle, Karen. Hello again, Susan. Okay, so I'm just going to sit for another wee minute so that I can make sure that everyone, if anyone's got any questions, that they've got a chance to ask them. While we're waiting, has anyone got anything to share? Any wins from the day? Any exciting stuff happening? We've got some beautiful snow up here in Scotland. It is gorgeous. And I'm really, really enjoying it because it's never this pretty for very long. It usually turns fairly quickly. Turns to kind of sludgy ice ugliness. Okay, I'm going to have another check-in on the comments on my phone. Okay, I don't see any questions, just some feedback that you have found it helpful. I'm glad you've all found it helpful. If you think of something that you would like to ask or that you'd like to know more about after this call, please, please, please don't hesitate to get in touch. Just pop me a wee private message or pop it in the comments here and I will get back to you. I will be speaking to all of you before Christmas, and I'll also be popping a note in the next few days just about my time off over Christmas as well, just so that we can make sure that we can accommodate it in everyone's diaries. So with that, I will bid you all good evening and say good night. And yep, thank you all for joining me, and have a lovely evening. Bye! Bye, bye, bye.